Clippers on the line. For three. And we go to overtime in San Francisco. Back-to-back triples by James Harden. The Warriors season comes down to this. Buddy Hield, no good. Rebound Harden. And the Warriors will have to do it the hard way in the play-in tournament.
You know, our history of the play-in, we kind of just want to feel like what it's like to get through that and get into hopefully a series with Houston.
The fight to avoid the play-in in the Western Conference. Kawhi Leonard, James Harden showed up when the Clippers needed them the most against the Warriors. Here they are in the fourth. Leonard drives, nails a fadeaway again, gets it, drills a tough contested mid-range jump shot here. Leonard shot 12 for 18 for 31 points in the half court, had 33 points on the night. A couple possessions later, though, Clippers still down here by 4. Harden attacks the paint, makes the layup. Clippers down by 2. They would tie it to send it to overtime. We're there now. Game tied at 111. Chris Dunn finding Harden. He gets it done with the 3. Clippers up. Same score here. Harden again knocks down a contested 3 over Jimmy Buckets. Shot 9 for 18 for 21 points on contested field goals. The Beard was feeling himself, and so were the Clippers. They were up by 2. Harden driving. Puts up a floater. Butler gets called for goaltending, though. He can't believe it. Kawhi Leonard and James Harden combined for 72 points, 59% of Clippers total. Harden, 39 points, 10 assists. Clippers win 124-119. So the Western Conference playoffs are now set. While we knew entering Sunday that the Thunder, Rockets, and Lakers would be the top 3 seeds, the rest was up for grabs. The Timberwolves earned themselves the 6th seed and matchup with the Lakers, while the Nuggets and Clippers meet in the 4-5 matchup. Malika Andrews and the NBA Countdown crew got us ready for the big matchups.
After some exhilarating finishes on Sunday afternoon, the Western Conference is set, which means we know that in the 3-6 matchup here, it is going to be the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Everyone start queuing up your gifts of Rudy Gobert and Luka Doncic because we're going to get to see that matchup even if Luka is in a different uniform. What's this going to come down to?
I mean, when I look at this team and I look at the Lakers, they don't have a dominant center. So we're talking about a team that's really not going to go in the paint because we know Rudy is more of a defensive guy. So I think this is a game where it kind of plays into the Lakers' favor. I think you bring in Naz Reid, but that's also a switchable matchups. And we know Lakers have a lot of wing defenders. So I think this is a team that they can guard defensively.
Yeah, the Lakers really like going small, Perk.
They do because LeBron James could play the center position. Right, and especially in a series like this, is all about matchups. And when you look at a guy like Julius Randle, who has been playing some pretty damn good basketball this last part of the season, Lakers have the personnel to match up with him and take him out of the game. I just feel like, you know, Anthony Edwards, he's a problem, right? We all know that he's dangerous.
So good.
But so is Luka Doncic, right? And who's going to stop him for the Minnesota Timberwolves? I don't think the Lakers are going to sweep them. I don't think they're going to beat them at 5, but I do have the Lakers winning this series in 6 games.
That's how I feel. I think the Lakers in 6. I think that when you look at Minnesota, they've got some size, but they're not going to be able to utilize that with Rudy Gobert because the Lakers will be able to go small. As a result, he'll be a non-factor, as he has been in playoffs past, because when smaller teams, when teams put smaller lineups in, it's difficult for him to adjust. This is what I love about this matchup. It's going to require a superstar performance from Anthony Edwards. Ant-Man is one of my top 2 favorite players in the entire NBA. I can't wait to see this brother. And here's the thing. Not only is this superstardom required for that reason, but also keep in mind who bounced him out last year in the Western Conference Finals, who put on a show in their house to do it. That would be Luka Doncic. You, Anthony Edwards, you got to answer the call. He's going to need help. He ain't going to get enough of it. But he has to show out, and I believe he will.
Well, now we know with the Lakers matchup, I'm also looking forward to Shannon Sharpe, Timberwolf, Werewolf, whatever his thing's going to be. Lakers and yeah, exactly. I'm very much looking forward to whatever that's going to be. The other thing that we know now is that the Golden State Warriors, Stephen A., they are in the play-in. They are 0-3 in play-in games. This time they're taking on here the Memphis Grizzlies. What are you going to be watching most closely?
No, I think that Memphis Grizzlies will fall because I think Golden State will know how to make shots and Memphis will not. That's my belief. No disrespect to them. I just don't think they're the shooters that Golden State is. But also, again, Draymond Green, you made a guarantee. This is playing to get to the playoffs. You made a guarantee.
I mean, once again, there's no dominant center. We're talking about Golden State, who has no center. So Memphis is not going to go inside. So they match up well with this team. So
Golden State.
You think Golden State's going to get their first play-in win? Okay.
I'm going with Golden State as well, but that's a problem because they have a big in Jaren Jackson Jr., right? So why wouldn't they utilize that? We're talking about a guy that I know, but we're talking about a guy UD that made an All-Star team this year. And I'm just looking at, Memphis is still missing and searching for that Dylan Brooks type player that they've been missing since he left. So
4-6 in the last 10 games. They limping right now.
The one thing that we're going to, speaking of limping, though, the one thing that all of us are going to have to keep an eye on heading into Tuesday's game, Golden State just 2 days to turn this around. We saw Jimmy Butler banged up at the end of this game against the Clippers, and Steph Curry, his hand heavily wrapped here. We expect and hope they're all good to go, and everyone's going to get their best shot. Tuesday,
Guarantees.
The play-in begins.
Can't wait.
Remember, guarantees. Remember.
Win in Luka's emotional, historic Dallas homecoming. It helped secure the 3 seed. And this is wild to me, UD. This marks the first time LeBron will have home court advantage since coming to Los Angeles. Isn't that crazy? Wow. There are 3 potential first-round opponents for the Lakers, right? The Timberwolves, the Nuggets, and the Warriors. Here's how each scenario is possible. Minnesota will be the 6th seed with a win and wins by the Clippers and the Nuggets. Remember, the Nuggets play Houston. Houston is playing their guys in this one. Denver would be the 6th seed with a loss and wins by the Clippers and Timberwolves. And for the Warriors, their easiest path to be the 6th seed is just win today against the Clippers. Now, the Lakers, they have the second best odds to win the Western Conference. But standings aside, do you think they're the second best team in the West, Stephen A?
I think at this particular moment in time, you can say that. I know that Houston is the number 2 seed. I believe in Ime Udoka. Them young thoroughbreds can ball. I still think they're a piece away, or I should say a year away as opposed to a piece. Because even though Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet are on that squad, I still think you need somebody else from a leadership veteran standpoint to help them. But I think they've got the pieces, and they certainly have the coach. It's just that with the Los Angeles Lakers, you see LeBron and Luka together. And the elevated play of Austin Reeves can no longer be ignored. And, oh, by the way, I want to say something that I don't consider it bold at all. J.J. Redick is going to win himself a championship one day as a coach in the near future. I think he's proven to be that exceptional and that locked in and that zeroed in. Might not be this year, but with Luka and LeBron, I can't summarily dismiss them against anybody outside of OKC. I think the way that they've looked right now with their experience, their playoff experience, you got to see one of these younger teams like a Houston. I got to see them take them out to believe it.
I see these two have been looking at each other the entire time you've been talking. Why? What are you keying about over here?
JJ has done an amazing job, but we do not give Houston their flowers, and you slightly did. But, yes, they might be young, but I'm looking at a team who has 5 guys starting in their starting lineup that average double figures. When we look at what Luka was able to go against last year against Boston, he wasn't able to hide. This is a team where if they played him in a 7-game series, he's not going to be able to hide. By the way, they're 14th in offense, but they're 2nd in defense, so they can guard. And on the other end, they're 1st in rebounding. The Lakers are 26th in rebounding. In a 7-game